live with another Dragon Ball Super review here. I don't know why I'm going like this. I think I'm doing a Donald Trump thing here, or something I don't usually do. Anyways, Dragon Ball Super episode 63 review. Pretty amazing episode, actually. Especially, I feel like the most amazing part, even though it might sound like a negative, the most amazing part might actually have been the preview for the next episode. And I know that's kind of strange and not really part of the episode technically, but the hype for that preview is incredible. And I'll have my predictions out tomorrow. But this episode, great animation, pretty good fight scenes, although I still wish, again, we got more of that Trunks transformation. Whatever it is, it looks... To me, it seems like maybe he's not aware of what's going on with his body because he transforms into that form again with this episode, and it seems like it's natural to him. It seems like it's just the normal Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2 to him, but enhanced with this blue ki, which presumably, I guess we can say is maybe God ki. It's still up in the air. It's all theories, and anyone that wants to tell you what the form is, I'll tell you they don't have the answer because none of us do. They'll have a theory, but no one has the answer just yet. I don't know how you guys feel about this little border thing I have around here. Maybe it makes the image look a little better because I have terrible lighting in my room, and I'm gonna fix that eventually, but we'll get to that eventually. But remember, even though this is on Crunchyroll now, this will be up, I think they air around an hour or so, or half an hour after the episode airs in Japan on Crunchyroll. This is a really long intro, but just keep that in mind. So I still watch this live as it airs, and Hermsai Kanzenshu did, in fact, translate a lot of this, so make sure to support him. He actually started a Patreon, so go check out his Patreon on his Twitter page. I'll actually probably end up leaving a link to it down below. He definitely deserves the support. But without that long intro, we already lost most of our viewers. Actually, we have 170 people watching. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing with your lives, but I appreciate it for damn sure. But I think most people agree this was probably a very good episode. It was better than the last one. The last one was a little, in my opinion, disappointing. It was still good, but the problem is that there was a lack of engagement in the episode. There was a lot of slower bits that seemed to not really need to be represented in the episode. Here, everything in it seemed to matter, seemed to have some weight to it. There were some slower bits at the end, but they had somewhat of a purpose. It wasn't stuff we already had heard about. So, Daniel Nakanishi, I swear I butchered your name, bro, but he says that it will be on Crunchyroll at 6 p.m. PST, so that would be, if you're in the Midwest, that'd be 7, and wait, I know for me it's going to be 9 o'clock, so it's about an hour after the episode originally, so yeah, half an hour after. This is an off-track review. No one's going to want to finish this. But regardless, made sure I wrote my notes here. A lot of guys, you know, if you're like, where's the review? It's like, I just like to finish up my notes and set it up. If I could schedule these for 8:35, I'll tell you that I would, but it only allows you to do it in 30-minute increments. But we kind of start off the episode, I guess in a general sense. We start off basically with Trunks kind of recovering, I guess, after his last fight with Zamasu and Black, and Mai is there tending to his wounds, and he eventually figures out that it was actually Yajirobe. And he kind of wants to know, like, you know, where is Mai? Where's Mai at? And she went off to go attack Goku Black. She has this special bullet that she got off of Bulma before she died, actually. And it's like some special super energy sort of bullet, I guess. And it appears that, from what I could gather from what Herms was saying, it was just that she was going to shoot Goku Black. And apparently that would have done something. But it also seemed like she was trying to shoot off the Patara earring, because there seemed to be a big focus on that in the scene. To me, it seemed like there was a lot of focus on the Patara. So I'm not sure if she was trying to shoot that off and kind of, you know, obviously, according to what Gowasu, you know, was kind of doing with Zamasu, you know, how he gave him the Patara and made him a Kai. It seems like if you don't have any Patara on at all, you're not even really a real Kai anymore. That's just what I was kind of gathering from all that. Although all that would really do to him is kind of, well, number one, prevent them from fusing, which I'm sure she wouldn't worry about. And number 2 would prevent it from using the time ring, which at this point, I don't know if it really matters. I don't know, it was weird. But either way, the shot fails, hits the Potara, does not shatter the Potara either, so I don't see why it would have done any damage to Goku Black. Well, it did knock him on his ass, though, and that was pretty cool. But they were kind of there discussing Goku and the others, and, you know, like, just in general. I didn't pick up a lot of it, but it didn't seem to be that important, honestly. But earlier in the episode, actually, we get Vegeta in the Room of Spirit and Time, or the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. He's up there. We see Popo and Dende watching the Time Chamber. And the Time Chamber just explodes. He destroys it, and to think he's been training, right? So he's been getting stronger. So what kind of occurs there when him destroying the Time Chamber? Number one, when he destroys it, he's in his base form. Just showing how strong their base forms have gotten. Incredibly powerful, way beyond anything that was in Z, you know, without question, you know, maybe aside from, let's say, Vegito, but there's a lot of stuff that you could make the argument that their base forms are honestly now at the point that where it's beyond a Super Saiyan God, really. But that's, you know, not really important to this. But he's basically in there training, and he just explodes in energy, I guess. I wish we got this. I like the scene, and it really shows how powerful Vegeta has gotten, and it really demonstrates a lot of destructive power that he has. I'm sounding redundant here, but what I'm trying to say is it was a cool scene, but I wish there was more to that scene specifically. We didn't see him in the chamber training. We just saw it blow up, really, which is in itself cool, but I would have liked to see more depth there. It was a very quick scene, and I feel like there just could have been more done with it. That's just my personal opinion on it. I don't know how you guys feel about it. After I'm done reviewing the episode, we will discuss it towards the end of this live stream and video. But after, you know, Mai tries to shoot Goku Black, we kind of get Black attacking them. You know, it was said, you know, Ningens. So he goes and shoots a blast. Trunks is already on his way to go protect Mai, basically, and the others, because Yajirobe tells Trunks where she is. So he goes there and deflects the blast as his new Super Saiyan form. Again, whatever the hell it's really called. And he continues to fight Black and does the, you know, the Gallic Gun, what we saw in the preview. And that was an incredible scene. And the fact that he knows that attack, you know, so now he has Final Flash, Gallic Gun, and he has Masenko as well, but I believe we saw that in either the BoJack film or the first Broly movie, but I want to say it was the BoJack film. I think that's where the Masenko came from, but obviously, you know, he would have learned that from, like, future Gohan. But Goku Black gets demolished by this Gallic Gun, or at least it appears that he does. And I guess after that, if you've seen it, I'm actually playing music in the background here, but I don't know how the music levels are compared to my voice. Hopefully it's not that bad. But this subdues Black for a very large period of time. Trunks is assuming that Black is done, but even if you don't know future episodes or what's happening, it was such an abrupt way to take him out that you know he's not really finished for good. But he runs into Zamasu after that, and Zamasu attacks Trunks, and Trunks kind of backpedals a little bit and easily, very easily, just subdues Black, grabs him by the arm, or I'm sorry, Zamasu. I guess they're both technically Zamasu. Someone says, relax, bro, you sound nervous. I'm fine. I'm not nervous at all. I'm actually just excited because of this episode. So, this is just how I talk. I do think I am skipping my beats a little bit, but it's been a very long day. I went to an absolutely terrible convention earlier. It was completely awful. But after that, like I said, Zamasu gets subdued by Trunks. Trunks grabs him and is saying, it basically says something along the lines of, you might be immortal, but your regeneration has to have its limits, so I'll just destroy every last bit. But Trunks, immortality is immortality. There's no in between. He's not Majin Buu. Majin Buu can be destroyed. He's not immortal, but he has a very, very powerful regeneration factor. I was skipping out on the word there. But it's just strange that he would say such a thing, because immortality is immortality. It's no in between. It would be interesting to see what would happen if he did get disintegrated completely, but just like Majin Buu, he'd probably come back from like smoke or something. But I don't know. That's a whole nother discussion in general. Regardless, Goku Black coming back and stabbing Trunks out of nowhere. Like I said, obviously he wasn't dead, so he just stabs him. And after that, Trunks hits the ground. Goku and Vegeta return, and they're there. Goku Black and Zamasu are talking to them, and Goku Black notices the time machine, blasts it, and I thought it was destroyed at first, but it really wasn't. Bulma kind of whips out a fire extinguisher, I guess, from one of her capsules, I imagine, and kind of extinguishes the flame, and Goku Black just doesn't decide to destroy it further. But when that got blasted, the Mafuba jar, to contain, or for what their plan is to contain Zamasu inside that jar with the evil Containment Wave, that gets destroyed, and later in the episode they kind of Bulma and Trunks talking about gluing it together, so that's still an option, and we're going to have to see what's going to happen with that in the future, if it's even something that is utilized or done to finish off Zamasu, because he is immortal. Whether obviously, if you saw the episode there and the preview, their fusion, we'll talk about this later, if that retains their immortality or not, because one, it's an immortal being fusing with a mortal, so is that going to counter the wish itself? That's still to be seen. But before they initiate a fight, Goku Black, Zamasu, Vegeta, and Goku, Gowasu and the Supreme Kai come out, and this was one of those slower parts, but it didn't really lead to much, but it still was interesting to see Gowasu, the one from our present timeline, the one that Beerus had saved from Zamasu, from being killed by him. So what happens then is Gowasu, there's way too many characters right now. Gowasu kind of just talks smack to the future Zamasu, saying like, oh, this is terrible, oh, you're an asshole, basically just that. It wasn't a whole lot of stuff. I'm not sure exactly what the Supreme Kai was doing there. It didn't seem to be that important. I think he just came along for the ride, but it was either Goku Black or Zamasu, and I'm blanking on which one did it, but one of them shoots a blast at the Supreme Kai and Gowasu, and Goku and Vegeta come out of nowhere and are Super Saiyan Blue and block the blast, and then the fight ensues. Vegeta has Goku Black, and Zamasu and regular Goku are fighting. So Goku's having no trouble holding off Zamasu, and I'm not sure if Goku got any stronger. I don't remember him training at all. Maybe he got a Zenkai boost from his terrible, terrible injuries. That's possible, but there was no indication that Vegeta had actually surpassed him, even though if Goku hadn't trained, logically speaking, Vegeta now should be stronger than regular Goku, right? I might have missed something there. I'm not really quite sure. But I think that it was pretty amazing. I think for Vegeta fans, this episode was definitely something special. It was short-lived at the time, and I think in the next episode we're going to see some more of this. But Vegeta's definitely got he has complete control of Goku Black. Goku Black cannot do a whole lot to Vegeta. Vegeta is quite a bit farther, I guess quite a bit of a, why can't I speak? He's quite a bit stronger. I was going to say he's quite a bit surpassed, but that doesn't make any sense. He has surpassed Goku Black. It's very clear. Goku Black acknowledges that he has gotten stronger. And even though in the start of the fight they're kind of somewhat trading blows, it's a lot more blocking than trading blows. Vegeta has no problem manhandling Goku Black later in the fight. At least that's what I was gathering, and I think that Vegeta still had plenty of room to spare. He had gotten a lot stronger in that chamber, and I have no idea how long he was in the chamber for, but this, it was definitely good for Vegeta fans, I feel like. And I'm a Vegeta fan. He's not my favorite character. He's one of my top characters. Goku is always going to be my favorite, but again, there wasn't a clear indication of if Vegeta had actually surpassed Goku, but it realistically should have been the case, unless Goku got some Zenkai boost, but who knows. Daniel in the chat says that he sees Gowasu coming from the future to provide Goku and Vegeta with the Potara so they can fuse. I completely agree with that right there because, like Danny, you know, Geekdom, and many other people, fusion, let's get real, guys. Fusion is coming in probably episode 66, I imagine. Or it will be hinted at the end of 65. But come next week, we're probably, I imagine, going to have more episode spoilers. But back to the episode review summary. I'm a little off base on this whole stream, so I apologize. I know it was probably weird, but hopefully you guys still enjoy it. It kind of leads to Vegeta having Black in his hands. Again, manhandling him completely. And punching him into the ground. It almost reminded me of like the, when he punched him into the ground, you saw like the blue aura pop out of the ground, the blue energy. It almost in a way reminded me of when Goku used the, obviously it's a completely different move, but just the way the camera was, right? And how that was presented. It reminded me of when Goku used the Dragon Fist on Ice Shenron and GT. I think that there was a very similar thing there in terms of the choreography. I just got those kind of vibes. This is exactly what I thought of when I saw that scene. So that's about it for the episode, though. I mean, I kind of covered everything, and I think it was a great episode. A lot of action, very well done. Again, backpedaling back to Trunks. I didn't talk about him too much. I would have liked to have seen, again, more of this Trunks form, and I feel like they still have yet to explain it, whether it's going to be explained later or not. Obviously, it should be. I just feel like, I don't know, maybe, not that it was ignored, but kind of like I mentioned earlier, he transformed into it very easily, and they didn't really give a big emphasis on the form this time. It was more of, I naturally can do this power up now. I have this godly aura around me, whether it is God Ki or not. We haven't gotten any confirmation or really hints at that, aside from, of course, that it's got the blue aura around it. So it's interesting to look at it like that, but I just wish we had some more Trunks stuff and more of that rage, more of that, I guess, rage boost type of deal that he was getting. Obviously, this is some sort of variant on a transformation, whether it is a mixture of Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan 2, false Super Saiyan Blue. I've talked about the form extensively, and I don't need to waste any more time here and your guys' time talking about it. I just wish that we had a little more of that and that it might have been expanded upon. It just seemed like it was odd to have it one episode where it seemed unstable, and just like that, after he gets, you know, healed back at his underground area, he's transforming into it like nothing. It's a little strange, but regardless. But overall, episode's very great. And by great, I mean, like, say, 8 out of 10 or something. I don't give scores because, frankly, I'm not a critic. I'm a guy that gives my opinion on a freaking anime. I'm no professional here, although most critics are pretty bad, let's be honest. But given my thoughts as a Dragon Ball fan, I have no shame in nitpicking on certain points. But Dragon Ball Super has been very good, very impressive recently. And it's going to be amazing to see what's in the future. And episode 64 is looking extremely hype, and 65, I can tell you right now, is going to be even better. So that's the end of the actual review, but you don't have to go now. I'm going to be discussing the episode further, but if you're done with the review, you don't really care about anything else, this is your opportunity to leave. I won't carry on here any further for you. You can go ahead and go. But if you want to stick around, leave your thoughts on the episode in the chat. Let's talk about it. Keep the discussion rolling and see how long we can do this live stream for. Probably be about half an hour, but I do want to get these a bit longer. But it's all about doing that without wasting time, guys. I don't like to waste time in my videos, but when you're doing something live, there's always these awkward moments of, hey, I don't have a script here. Hey, I never use a script anyways. Oh, I'm stumbling over my words. Oh, I gotta go back and think what happened in the episode, because when something's fresh in my mind, it's never fresh in my mind. I always have to look back at something, especially when I'm looking at something with no subtitles, or even having to read something with subtitles. When I can hear and understand stuff, like when it's a dub, it's a lot easier to remember for me. That's just me, and that's why when I watch these, for these live reviews, I make some notes here on my WordPad. So if I'm stumbling, I'm just looking back at my notes. It's not that I forgot what happened in the episode, it's that I'm mixing it up in my head with other things that happened in Super. But here in my garage is in the chat. I don't... Here in my garage. That's a dead meme, but Good episode. Basically it. But what about Trunks' come on, guys. What about Trunks' Gallic Gun, though? That was some awesome stuff. And I will say the fight between the two of them, Trunks and Goku Black and Zamasu, was cool. Although, I was surprised to see Zamasu barely in that. I kind of thought that there would have been more to that, actually. There is just a brawl in the chat right now. That is not... Okay. We actually have some questions. Usually, Daniel is the guy that brings the real good questions, and... you guys got to pick up the pace here and compete with Daniel now. Thoughts on Trunks adopting Vegeta's moveset? We almost saw Final Explosion. I mean, it's cool. It's a little weird of like, where did he learn these from? Did he just look at the attacks and then kind of copy them like something Majin Buu would do? I mean, it's not really just Majin Buu though, because Goku saw Kamehameha, did it then. You know, it's just a thing characters can do if they're skilled enough. How strong is the Black Zamasu transfusion? I mean, I couldn't tell you, but it's going to be weaker than the Vegeta fusion, apparently, so. Josh, is Goku Black, or is Black Goku Black, going to spam 1 second Zenkais to beat Vegeta? The thing is, they're saying that, one thing I think is interesting about Goku Black is, he always says, with this Saiyan body, I get stronger as I fight, but it's like, that's not really a Saiyan trait, it's... Zenkai boosts, which are boosts in power after a near fatal, guys, near fatal injury. So I don't know what's up with Goku Black. I think they're trying to say it's a Zenkai boost, but I think they're getting it mixed up. Daniel says the fusion will nullify Zamasu's immortality because it creates a new being, and the wishes being very specific about who gets immortality. I completely agree that that's what should happen. Is that what's going to happen in the episode? I mean, it depends on the, I guess, depends on the people at Toei Animation and how they're going to write this, or how Toriyama's outlines men. I wish we could see what Toriyama's outlines for these episodes and story arcs were, honestly, but we just don't get it. But I do agree with that. That is realistically what should happen. Daniel, you got that from Expert Games. I mean, that's a pretty... It's not stealing anything from anyone. Anyone with a normal human brain can kind of figure that out. So, yeah. Expert Games gets talked about a lot in terms of people stealing content from him, but he's not the only person on YouTube, you know, and... There's a lot of people that know a lot more about Dragon Ball than him. Not to say that's the only way you can make theories, but there's a lot of people that pump out a lot of videos that make a lot of theories. So he's not the only person on YouTube that knows about Dragon Ball. He is not the king. So that's just that. Everyone can have their different opinions. I thought of that before the fusion thing, so I guess I stole it from him too, even though I had no idea he even did anything about that. So, you know, I guess I stole it from Expert Games as well, so. Just not allowed to do anything. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta will be interesting, but how do you think the manga will treat the fusion? That's interesting because Torotaro, very recently, I guess not as bad in the last chapter, but he has been diverging from what the anime does. So, again, that kind of goes back to what do these outlines that Toriyama makes up or writes down, what do those look like exactly? That's the good question. Because the manga could be very different. But for... It's very weird because I would tell you right now that I think fusion will be in both the anime and the manga. But the manga could just do the Mafuba and take out Zamasu and Black could be killed. Or the anime could do that and the manga would have Vegeta. Or they'll both have Vegeta. The thing is, you would think such a big story point would be the same across all boards, right? The manga and the anime. But you have to remember the Kaioken times 10 versus Hit. That was not in the manga. The manga fight with Hit, in my opinion, was terrible. Completely different fight. I'm still, to this day, very curious of what that, specifically the one I want to know the most is what that outline looked like. Why was that one so different? What was Toriyama's outline? Was he saying, oh, Goku gets a power-up, or Goku goes red, or something like that? I don't know. It's a big difference, but I would think that if they're doing Vegeta, which it seems very likely that they are, then I think that that is such a major thing that I feel like both would have it, and it would feel weird to have one not have it. And whatever product decides not to use the fusion will be hated, I'm sure, by many people. But there's people saying Kid Buu in the chat. I don't know why Kid Buu is being talked about. One thing I do want to, and this is almost more of the prior episode, I would say. But what this one would be, I don't know what I'm talking about. The prior episode, where Beerus basically says, I think I mentioned this in my last review, I can't honestly remember off the top of my head. Beerus says that he could destroy Black if he went to the future. Does he understand that Black is immortal, right? Did he get that information? Because I don't remember that, okay? I really don't. So, going back to like a video I did, I said Beerus has the power to destroy basically everything, right? It's just the power of a god of destruction. Could he just eliminate Zamasu, like out of nowhere? I feel like no, but if he's immortal and if Beerus knows of that and he says he can destroy him, I mean, why not, right? It's weird, but I don't think they're going to go down the road of having Beerus destroy Zamasu. Especially now they are, of course, fusing. I think what's going to happen is, it is the most likely thing, is Vegeta. It really is. And like Dan mentioned, the fusion between Zamasu and Black is going to nullify the immortality. I think that's a very logical explanation. How long is this arc going to last? 6-7 more episodes. I think that's fair to say. So remember we said, we had heard obviously a while back, we're going to get at least 75 episodes of Dragon Ball Super, right? It's going to end around that, and I think around the 75 episode mark, we're going to get something new already. That's just kind of how I feel about it, at least. And it might not be true, but it doesn't really matter, because we'll see what happens when it happens. Dragon Ball Nation, I think that they won't do Super Saiyan Blue. Gogeta won't work because Gogeta isn't well, I said Vegeta, not Gogeta, but and the Gogeta isn't canon, and the fusion would be like 5 minutes due to the Super Saiyan Blue being such a high form and have a low time limit. I mean, yeah, and I would say, and maybe some other people would say that, you know, that was only an idea that was represented in GT with Super Saiyan 4. With the shorter time limit, but actually, when Gotenks was Super Saiyan 3, it was noted that the limit was actually shortened when he went Super Saiyan 3. So Super Saiyan Blue on an actual fusion dance, even if they applied it, they might not even apply the fusion limit, as in it would deteriorate the limit. It might just be 30 minutes though. But regardless, I agree that they won't do Gogeta, but let's just talk about something real quick. Gogeta isn't canon, but let's just admit though, if it was ever in the series, you really think it's going to be anything besides Gogeta? Gogeta is like the most canon, non-canon thing, if that makes sense, because it exists in theory, right? Like, it was never in the original manga, or it's not in Super either, but it does exist. It's a weird situation, but if they ever did a fusion dance, I mean, come on, guys, you know it's gonna be, it would in fact be Gogeta. It wouldn't be anything else. Let's see what we got here in the chat. This again, I say it again, this is a completely off stream, and I apologize. This is not how the streams usually are, but it's been an interesting day, and I guess I'm just hyper right now, I suppose. But again, the most likely option is Vegito, especially because of the Patara that Gowasu has. Let's see. Trunks went Super Saiyan, then Grade 3 before his new form. Could it be that it's an evolution of it? You know, it's interesting. I did notice that he did buff up a little bit. I don't think it was the Grade 3 or the Ultra, Ultra Super Saiyan Trunks or whatever you want to call it. I don't think it was that, but I did notice he did buff up a little bit. So it was interesting to see like that, I think. But, yeah. Let's see here on this chat. I don't understand. These guys are going on about Kid Buu and Broly, and I don't understand what the point of these are. It's kind of just filling up the chat, and it's pointless. What if the shockwaves from this fight releases Buu in this timeline? Well, if Buu got released in the timeline, I mean, Vegeta and Goku in their base form would easily be able to destroy him like nothing, but it's not something that's going to happen, but, yeah, they wouldn't have any trouble beating Majin Buu in any of his forms, even Buuhan. Obviously, he wouldn't beat Buuhan because he doesn't have any Gohan to absorb. But regardless, they would just Ki blast him, and it'd be just about over, I would say. Dan says it's a pre-evolution of Super Saiyan Blue. I think that's what most people agree, and maybe it's going to turn out to be something else. Who really knows? It's definitely interesting to look at that form, and it seems almost seems too obvious to make it a Super Saiyan Blue precursor. So they might actually turn it into something else. I'm not really sure at this time. But we got here is Harambe can beat Goku. That's definitely right. It's past 9 p.m. so the English dub stream should be going on now. Theoretically on Crunchyroll, yes, it should be. I don't have Crunchyroll. I should probably get it just for Super and maybe some other anime as well. Theoretically, it should be. I don't really know because I don't have it, so I can't check. Black plus Zamasu makes Blasu. I mean, even though they're not going to say a name, in my opinion, in the episode or in Super itself, I think obviously in the games or in Dragon Ball Heroes, it'll probably be in Heroes first, right? It'll probably be in Dragon Ball Heroes in like a month. They're going to have to come up with a name there, huh? They're definitely going to have to. Will we see Beerus fight? I don't think that's something that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to go that route with this arc at all, really. Do you think that Gowasu will increase the Potara power because it's different than the Potara earrings from a different universe crossing with someone else? I think that they're going to act the same. I don't think the fact that they're crossing universes is really going to, quite frankly, make much of a difference. I think that it will be the same. Although, to be honest with you, they're not going to make any mention of any of the power. It'll be say like, hey, here's Potara earrings. So, it'll be the same. Matthew Stewart just says just call him Ultimate Zamasu. I mean, if it is Zamasu, they're both Zamasu, so they might as well just call him Zamasu. But Goku Black, it's someone different than Zamasu apparently. So the fusion will be called Black Zamasu. Let's talk about the design of that fusion, though. Let's get real. This is a white Super Saiyan with green. I might be able to throw up an image of it. Herms has it right here. Might be able to get an image of this actually right up on here in the stream, just for reference for you guys. Let's see. I don't want to throw up some random image. I got to go in my properties here. But let's see. What anime stream do you use? I don't really use any anime streams, so. How would you feel if the immortality was diluted instead of reversed? So instead of being completely immortal, Black Masu, the fusion or whatever they're going to call it, was able to regenerate like Buu or Cell. So rather than having complete immortality, he just gets the regeneration that Zamasu has. That could be interesting, but I think what's going to happen, like Daniel had mentioned, I think the immortality is going to get completely nullified, essentially, really. I think that would probably be the most logical, in my opinion. That's what I would go for. So let's go ahead and bring up an image of this form right up here. I got it in here somewhere, so bear with me. I got way too many images on here, though. There it is. And it's probably gonna, I don't know where this image is gonna even pop up, but okay, it's in the bottom corner. I'm gonna put it over my face because I'm disgusting and ugly. But I think that's definitely a good spot. I shouldn't even have put my webcam on in the first place. But that looks pretty good, although there's a black line at the top. I gotta fix that because of OCD. But that looks good. Perfect, right? So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this form right now. Obviously going to be immensely powerful. Stronger than Beerus? Is it going to be stronger than Beerus? Come on, guys. Like, let's... I talked about this in a Q&A recently. We have no idea the extent of Beerus' power, so... I mean, it's really iffy. I would be inclined to think, like, there's no way Beerus could be this powerful, right? Two beings that are, you know, in the realm of a Super Saiyan Blue's power, right? Fused. One being stronger than your traditional Super Saiyan Blue, and apparently one being maybe stronger, maybe weaker, because Zamasu's been shown to... in my opinion, Zamasu's been shown to be stronger than Goku. In this episode, Goku is showing himself that he's been stronger than before. He's handling Zamasu like he's never has before, in my opinion. Whether he got stronger or not, I'm not sure, but Zamasu, I think, has had the edge on Goku a lot of times, and I don't think that it's just the immortality. You know, there's something more there. So it'd be interesting to see if that actually will be stronger than Beerus, but again, we have no idea, and God forbid I ever make a video about that, because there's nothing to say about it. It would be the most speculative video I've probably ever made. But on here, I think the design in terms of the clothing, you can't see the clothes here, but the one shot we have of the clothing, it was with a bunch of text on it. Outfit looks awesome. Character design looks great. Love the hair. It's got the Zamasu kind of like the bangs in the front. Yeah, or the bangs are a little bit like Zamasu's like mohawk, I guess. I like the way that looks. And it's funny because it looks exactly like what everyone kind of thought he was going to look like, I think. So, not really a surprise on there, I would say, at all. But what do you guys think of the design? Some of you guys are seeming like you do like it, so... Looks godly as fuck. But yeah, everyone seemed to like this form. It really does look pretty cool, and I would hope we get this in a Xenoverse 2 DLC. That would be my hope. Is that gonna happen? That's a big iffy. I think that they already, in my opinion, I think they already have the blueprints to all the DLCs planned out. Considering they already announced the Frost and Kaba, or apparently the way it's spelled in the game is like Kiabe or something. I would assume that he's not going to be a part of that, but we'll have to see. You know, who knows what their DLC is in store for. Bash says that that's what Toriyama said about Super Saiyan White. The thing is, I was thinking, I said, like, you know, after it aired, I'm like, oh, this is the Super Saiyan White everyone wanted. He never really said a villain was going to have it. He said he was going to use it for Goku and Vegeta, but that was going to be the Super Saiyan Blue form, right? It's interesting to think, is this really that? Because what he was talking about was it would if he did a white-haired Super Saiyan, it would clash with a future villain. But is this gonna be long? Is this gonna be around long enough, right? To really, I guess Zamasu has white hair as well, which is obviously where the fusion gets it from. Is that really? Do we really think that's what Toriyama was talking about? I don't know. He's a very forgetful person. I'm not sure exactly when the interview was conducted. It couldn't have been that long before, because that same interview, I believe it was the same one that it had the mention of the Trunks arc. He didn't say it was the Trunks arc yet, but he said a future arc, or a very special story coming up with like a future related character, you know, something along those lines. Is this really that white-haired villain? Or is it just coincidence that, hey, we have a white-haired guy? I don't know. I really have no idea. It's possible. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. But I think that this is definitely a cool design. I don't want to sound redundant. Is he stronger than Whis? Well, I already questioned if he's stronger than Beerus, so I guess Whis would kind of be a question as well, right? By the way, in the episode, he said something was said about Whis. Herm said it was he missed it. Herm said it was something about Whis saying something about Whis being like an angel or something. I missed it, so he missed it as well. Dude, he said like in 2012, I want an evil Kai. I don't know what that means, but let's see here. We've got Alpha Titan. What do you think would cause them to fuse? Nobody there was stronger than that. I mean, that's, in my opinion, what causes them to. Vegeta had a very big handle on Goku Black, and Goku appeared to be stronger than Zamasu, so even though Zamasu cannot be killed, I imagine what's going to happen is they are going to try to use the Mafuba, and whether it fails or Zamasu understands what the move is, he realizes that even though I'm immortal, I'm not strong enough to defend myself against these guys, and I'm going to be captured or held back or contained in this device. Either that causes them to fuse, or just the fact that he can't compete with Goku and Vegeta, even though he's immortal. He literally just cannot fight back, or he cannot destroy humans. He could literally just be held in like a grapple and just be held there. But either way, I mean, I think the fact that they're stronger than Zamasu and Black is what's going to cause them to fuse, I would imagine. Like, that seems to be pretty obvious. How many arcs are going to be after this? I have no idea. As long as Super needs to run, I think at least another arc, which will be the tournament arc, I think. The Omniversal tournament has been talked about a few times, so it's definitely something, in my opinion, that's going to occur. It's been talked about too much to not have it happen. The best title for the Vegito episode here, Return of the Almighty Fusion, Vegito is Reborn. I think that'd be cool. It might even be something even more epic than that, so. The question is, do I take this picture off, or do I change it to something else, or do I don't know. I think we can probably wrap it up here, though, because I've been rambling for way too long. Anyone that watches this after it's live, it probably sounds, in my opinion, like one of the most unprofessional videos ever. I wish it turned out better. I was way too all over the place here, and I apologize. I'm sure none of you guys really care, but it makes me a little self-conscious about it, but it's not a big deal. It's going up anyways. And if it gets dislikes, it gets dislikes. I don't really care about that. You guys enjoyed it, hopefully. But I think that's probably about it. Unless anyone wants to throw anything else out there for me. Other than that, I think we've pretty much cleared the field here. I don't even think that's a real saying. Cleared the field. Yeah, that's not a real saying, is it? But regardless, guys, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. Other than that, wait a minute. I've talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it right now before we end this video off. Redman's said, do you think Vegito is considered a Kai because of the Patara? I think that is a very plausible thing. I've talked about it before. And I think that the fact that the Patara seems to be the main thing that makes someone an actual Kai instead of a Kai's apprentice or something. I think that Vegito would be classified as a Kai. I think that he would be able to use the Kai rings. What am I talking about? Kai rings. The time rings. So, yeah, that's what I would think. How do you watch your anime then? This guy keeps commenting, how do you watch your anime then? Please, I need to know. I don't have a place where I watch my anime. I just watch Super every week. And you guys should know that I can't talk about where I watch Super because Toei Animation will crack down. They'll somehow figure it out. People always want me to link the episodes in the description, which I don't know why. Like, you have, one thing people do, I know no one's asked me to link it right now, but what people have to understand, it's one thing for you guys to link the episode and watch it or whatever, but if I put it in my description or maybe even comment it somewhere, Toei has done this in the past where they've taken down videos for having links to the episodes in the descriptions and stuff like that, or I think I've heard of comments. So it's something that I can't really afford to do. I would like to tell everyone where to go watch it. Sure, everyone wants to enjoy the show. But it's just something I can't do. And yeah, I mean, you can look it up on Google. It's probably right on the first page. There's not really any bad sites on the first page. But I mean, if you guys link the episodes for people, I've seen it happen. I always approve the link so people can see it. I just myself don't want to take that risk of linking it and having the crackdown on Toei. We don't need copyright problems, right? But right now, Dragon Ball Super is on Crunchyroll and a few other places, Anime Labs and some other one. It's on Crunchyroll though, and that's like $10 a month to stream anime, and it will air about an hour or a half an hour after the episode. I'm not sure what it is exactly. I think it's a half an hour to an hour. And you can get it there, and it will have subtitles. $10 a month. I'm not sponsored by Crunchyroll. I wish I was, because that'd make me some money. And it's a cool service that I haven't used, but I can tell it's a pretty cool service. But really, I don't know if it's going to update my description or not, but I'm going to leave this in the description right now, and this will be in the full video when it airs, guys. I mentioned it earlier very briefly, but I wanted to keep track. In the description, guys, right now it should be there at least. I know no one's probably going to go there, but I do feel like it is very deserving to put it there. Herms on Twitter and from Kanzenshuu, who does translate these live, remember, he translates these episodes live, guys. Puts a lot of work into these translations, a lot of work from Kanzenshuu. He just opened up a Patreon today, and he didn't ask me to do anything about this. I just saw on Twitter, and I felt like the guy deserves credit. I left a link to his Patreon. If you want to check it out, donate any money to him, help him continue to work on these stuff. This stuff, that would be appreciated, I'm sure, by him and by everyone in the fan base. So he has a Patreon set up to help him continue his work on the translations and all that stuff. So if you want to go support him, show some love, and I think there's some exclusive rewards there, I think that would be a good thing for people to do. Again, he didn't tell me to do this. I just thought that it was something to share with you guys. If you wanted to go check it out, it is in the description. So go show him some love. But I think I wasted enough time here completely. 47 minutes. Yeah, that's about enough, I would say. So guys, thank you guys for watching this video. Alpha Titan says he found the school I went to. I can't. I'm not double for anime, so I can't really do that thing. I have a brain, so it's very difficult to me to make such noises. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching this video. Sorry if the stream was a little bit awful. I'm sure you guys still thought it was fine, and I appreciate you guys' support. As always, always love the support on this channel. Makes me feel incredible. But I don't want to waste any more time here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Stick around for future videos. I will be doing a Dragon Ball Super episode 64 preview predictions for that episode tomorrow. So stay tuned for that if you want to see it. I'm going back to Saratoga Comic-Con tomorrow, and I'll tell you, I went today, and it was a god-awful experience. The room was so small for it, and it was bad. And I bought a 2-day pass because I thought it would be decent. And it's just not. It's really not. There was a guy on the camera. He was like doing news reports or something. And I'm just like, this guy's... And I'm like, I'm probably the most well-known person here. There was nobody there. And I'm not even that well-known. But I'm going to get the fuck out of here now. I'll be at Comic-Con. I know none of you are going to be there. But if you are, I'll see you there. And it is painful. But thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to get out of here. And I'll catch you guys later.